Hello friends, welcome to youtube.com oblique Dr. Ved channel. In this channel, we are presenting lectures on veterinary science and animal husbandry. I am Dr. P.R. Patel. At present, we are presenting lectures on veterinary medicine. Today's presentation is on thyroid gland hormone diseases, Introduction Part 1. It is a part of a series of endocrine diseases. This introductory part is very much important because if the students or veterinarian understand the introduction, then he will be able to understand the subsequent diseases on thyroid gland hormones. So, introductory part, physiology, pathophysiology is very important for students and veterinarians. Friends, we have made thyroid gland hormones diseases introduction in two parts, part 1 and part 2. In part 1, we'll discuss point from 1 to the 4, and in part 2, we'll discuss point 5 to 7. Now here, introduction, the students and veterinarians have already studied that. But certain important points for a clinician and students are described here, and that is must to understand the disease. So before studying this disease of hormones of thyroid gland, it is better to critically go through this introductory portion. Now in part 1, we are going to deal with introduction on thyroid gland hormone diseases, functions of thyroid gland and their hormones, types of hormones secreted by thyroid gland, physiology and some of the pathophysiology aspect of hormones of thyroid gland. That we'll discuss in part 1. Friends, again I remind you that we are going to discuss only those introductions which are required for a clinician. Otherwise, the topic will be too large. The certain things students and veterinarians must know before understanding the diseases. Anatomical part, the thyroid gland is a bilobed gland. There are two lobes. The shape of thyroid gland is butterfly shaped. It is located just posterior to the larynx in the body and adjacent or sideways and outside to the trachea. The location of thyroid gland in birds. Thyroid glands are within thoracic cavity in birds, near the syrinx, next to carotid artery. The two lobes of thyroid gland are connected by fibrous isthmus. Gland is extremely vascular. Almost all thyroid glands and all other endocrine glands are extremely vascular because they are pouring their content without duct direct into the blood. In dogs and cats, beyond this normal thyroid gland, there is existence of ectopic or accessory thyroid gland. It is commonly present in dogs and cats. The location is any place right from larynx to diaphragm. These are the extra thyroid tissues and they carry out normal thyroid function when surgical thyroidectomy is performed. They carry over their function. Thyroid gland hormones has many functions in the body. Here, main three functions which a clinician should know are regulation of metabolic rate, controlling heart, muscle and digestive function. It is very important function. It regulates the metabolic rate, development of the brain and maintenance of the bone. These are the three main functions of thyroid gland hormones. Let us see here somewhat more functions. The thyroid gland is called as master metabolic control center of the body. Why it is called as master metabolic control center of the body? Here is the description. Thyroid gland hormone controls approximately every cell in the body. Most of the cells are under the control of thyroid gland hormone. Thyroid gland hormone regulator the rate at which cells and organs turn the nutrients into energy. Important function. Hormones control quantity of oxygen used by the cells. Again, very important. Hormone regulates the brain and nerve function and their development. It is also a very important function. Hormone regulates functions of skin, hair, eyes, heart and intestine. The important hormone secreted by thyroid gland is calcitonin. It is involved in calcium and bone metabolism. Important function. Friends, important to remember that thyroid gland secretes three hormones. Triiodothyronin, it is known as T3. Here the 3, that is triiodine. Another hormone, tetraiodothyronin. The word tetra means 4. It is called as thyroxine or T4. The third important hormone is calcitonin. Let us see here some of the physiology of the hormone that is important for pathophysiology when applied for the production of diseases. Only important physiology is discussed here. The thyroid hormones are iodinated organic compounds. So for their synthesis, iodine is a required. Store of iodine in body is almost nil. So all the time the synthesis of thyroid hormone depends on supply of iodine through diet. Important for the clinician. The thyroxine T4 hormone is the chief secretory product of the thyroid gland. So main hormone is thyroxine T4. We already know That gland also secretes triiodothyronine, that is T3. Other hormone, reverse T3, and other deioninated metabolites. Friends, remember T3 is 3 to 5 times more powerful than T4 hormone. Important for a clinician. T3 hormone is 3 to 5 times more potent than T4. The reverse T3 is thyromimetically inactive. It has no function. The T4 is called as prohormone. Why? Because T3 is derived from most of the T4. So T4 becomes the prohormone for T3. We continue here the important physiology portion of the thyroid hormone. T4 activation to more potent T3 is regulated individually by the peripheral tissue. According to their need, conversion of T4 to T3 is regulated. T3 is more potent than T4. Thyroid hormones are bound to plasma protein, that is thyroxine binding protein. Friends, remember approximately 0.1% of total serum T4 is free, that is not bound to binding protein. So 0.1% of total serum T4 is free, that is without binding to the protein. And 1% of total serum T3 is P, that is again without binding to the protein. Portion of circulating free T4 and free T3 governs the amount of hormone available for uptake by the tissue. This is an important point for a clinician. Friends, when we have studied the adrenal gland and its hormones, in that we have studied HPA axis, that is hypothalamus, pituitary and adrenal gland axis. Similar way here is HPT axis, that is coordination of hypothalamus, pituitary and thyroid axis. These organs are coordinated to maintain the normal hormonal level of the thyroid gland. Hypothalamus secretes TRH that stimulates pituitary to secretes TSH. TSH stimulates thyroid gland. Thyroid gland secretes T4 plus T3 in bloodstream. When secretion is required, then there is negative feedback mechanism both on pituitary and negative feedback mechanism on hypothalamus. That is stop secretion of TSH and stop secretion of the TRH. That now secretion is up to the level, no more secretion of T4 and T3 is required. So these three organs, hypothalamus, pituitary and thyroid, are controlled by each other. They are coordinating and they maintain the normal hormonal level of the thyroid gland. Friends, here is a description of HPT axis, hypothalamic pituitary thyroid axis. What we have seen in the previous presentation, the figure of HPT axis, it is described here. HPT axis, there are three organs which are with a high coordination, and these organs are hypothalamus, pituitary and thyroid. These regulate the thyroid hormone level of the blood. We have seen that hypothalamus secretes TRH, thyrotropin releasing hormone. This TRH stimulates thyrotropes. Thyrotropes are the endocrine cells in enteropituitary and start producing thyroid stimulating hormone, that is TSH. This TH stimulates thyroid gland for synthesis and secretion and production of thyroid hormone. So this is how this thyroid hormone is synthesized and produced by coordination and cooperation of these three organs. The half-life of TSH is approximately 60 minutes. Friends, don't miss this introductory part, because this introductory part we have discussed the important point for the clinician and for the students, so that you can understand the other diseases, hypothyroidism, hyperthyroidism, in a best way. Please share this information to veterinarians and veterinary students. Subscribe the channel, press the bell button so that you can get the notification. If you like, press like button. Thank you very much for observing this video. Next presentation will be part 2, introduction, and then we'll switch over to diseases of the thyroid gland. Thanks.